Hello everybody, welcome back to another video here on my channel. As by the title, you can see that I'm talking about this carb today and why not to buy it. In a previous video in the past, like a couple days ago, I actually said with the proper time and effort, you can actually make this carburetor into a pretty decent carburetor. And while that's true, if you don't want to take the jets out, you can make that carburetor do decent top speeds. Just recently I went on a ride and I was only getting about 25 miles an hour going downhill, 20 miles an hour on flat ground, and it wasn't what that motor really could do. I know that motor could do much more than that because I've seen previous builds or similar builds, that will do 2 times what my build will, my build will do 2 times what those builds will do. And some of those motors stock do about 30 miles an hour, which is just seemed really weird to me. And I figured, and I did some research, and I looked at the tuning on this carburetor, and it seemed like the jets were restricting my power, and the jets are just underneath this cover, or you can take the whole bowl off if you please, but I just did the quick access after this cover with the PWK carburetors. And it was a tragedy because I decided I was going to go ahead and start by taking the bowl off. And you might be saying, well, this doesn't apply to all people because not all people have to, adjust the jets for their carburetor, for their motor, and that's true, but my motor obviously has to have the jets adjusted, with the pipe and the reed valve and everything else that's on it. I should have to adjust the jets, and I noticed there was a restriction on this motor because it was bogging. So anyway, back to the main part here. I was going to change the jets out, and I decided instead of just doing this the wrong way and the fast way of just taking this off, I was going to do it the correct way and take the whole bowl off, which is just these two screws right here. So as you can see, this first one, sorry, not a lot of light in here right now, I'm in my house, but this first one, as you can see, almost stripped out, and I can actually still get grip on that screw, so that one actually did come out right. Then I come on to the second one, strips straight out, clean. I don't even do more than 2 turns inside of it without it catching, and it strips the whole screw out, which was like insane to me that somehow in China they managed to screw that on so tightly without stripping it, but then when I try to do it, it does not come off. So I kind of want what the Chinese have. I want one of their drills, please and thank you. So that was my first problem, and I was like, okay, that's not a big deal. Let me just, take this off. And, I did. I just used this little wrench right here, and this thing came off pretty easily. Just undo this. I'm going to make this video kind of fast. I don't want to take too much time up. But, I just undid this, and boom, there's my jets, right? Well, let me see if I can get my camera to focus. Yeah, I don't know if you could see this. This jet's completely stripped out. The threads are stripped out. I could not get the jet to come out of it. It actually ended up pulling the whole inner piece out instead of just pulling my jet out that I needed. So, that was terrible. And after that happened, I actually was trying to get this one out as well, and that snapped the whole side of the jet in half. So, after that happened, I went on eBay, and I just ordered myself a Nibby racing carburetor because I was not going to deal with this carburetor anymore. And so I decided to do some more experimenting. And this whole thing just does not go in there anymore, and I'm really quite scared to run my motor like this because I know there's metal shavings in there, lodged in there, especially in that one, and it's just not worth ruining my motor. And it was just such a waste of money for me to purchase a carburetor like that, that if it wasn't even going to work. So this is just a heads up for you guys. Anyone with a 21mm OKO PWK carburetor, if you are thinking about buying this or you have it, get rid of it quick. It is not worth it. However, there is some upsides to this carburetor. If you don't need to take the jets out, if you're only getting 25 miles an hour out of your engine, chances are you need to mess with your jets, because those motors have so much capability. I mean, there's people who make those motors do 80 miles an hour. So chances are you need to mess with your jets if you're only getting 20 miles an hour like I am. Here's the thing. If you don't need to mess with this and you go 30 miles an hour plus without, fiddling with your jets, this is a great carburetor. And I've seen people whose jets come straight out on these carburetors. It's a hit or miss product. Much like any product in the motorized bike industry. I mean, there's all kinds of things, like the pipe that I bought is a hit or miss product because the welds actually break off in the mount, which actually happened to me. And the reed valves hit or miss because sometimes they're just frozen. Like some of those reed valves that they were buying were just frozen shut. They couldn't get them open. Mine are actually good. They're not frozen shut, which is good. But this was a hit or miss, and I definitely missed with this carburetor. If you have this carburetor and you have other outcomes with it, please let me know in the comments, because I'd like to see what kind of builds you're using it on and what maybe I could have done differently with it. But this carburetor is definitely ruined for me right now. I know most of you guys are saying I could just drill out the bowl, take the whole bowl off, take out this whole thing, buy a new one. I mean, I could do that. I could make this carburetor better. But just from what I've already dealt with it, I don't want to try. And I mean, watching videos on this carburetor where people have just had so much trouble with them, getting them tuned right, I really don't want to mess with it anymore. So I just went straight up, ordered a Nibby racing carburetor. It's a 24 millimeter. This is actually a 21 millimeter. I do not really want to go higher than 21. But Nibby doesn't actually make a, or Nibby, I don't know how you say it. I'm just going to say Nibby, but they don't actually make a 21. They make a 24 and a 23 maybe. But I found a 24 on there for a really good price on eBay, and I went and purchased that. So, anyway, guys, if you have any different outcomes with this carburetor, please let me know in the comments. Anyway, guys, I guess I'll catch you guys in the next video, next motorized bike video. Meanwhile, in Manchester in February here, coming up next week, I think me and my buddy Jacob are going to be making a video on electric versus gas-powered bikes, and that should be an interesting video. But I just don't think the old two-stroke motor will hold up too well to that electric bike, especially in acceleration. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching, and I hope this kind of informed you on maybe not buying this carburetor. And anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.